All right, guys. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about exactly what I did to go from 0 to 100K per month in 90 days in this new business that I started. So if you guys know me, I'm a YouTuber. I already have a successful channel, but I decided to start a new business because so many people were reaching out to me to ask for YouTube advice. And I started helping people. I started getting them really good results. And I realized I absolutely love doing it. Right? So I would get through a session of coaching and I would actually feel energized. And that's when I realized, okay, this is probably something that I should do for money. So I'm going to be talking about exactly how I got from pretty much 0 to making 100K per month in this SMMA. It's kind of like a hybrid SMMA / coaching business, because basically what I do is I help people to make money on YouTube, specifically coaches, agency owners, online service providers, course creators, creators that actually want to make money, that kind of thing, consultants as well. And so let's get right into it. This is just going to be a value-packed video. I'm just going to deliver everything, just tell you literally everything I did. So first thing that I did is I made content. Okay. Now, just about all the gurus on YouTube will tell you, oh, cold emailing is really good. And by the way, I didn't do any cold email, any cold outreach, any cold calling, no paid ads, none of that. And all these gurus are telling you like, oh, paid ads are the way to go. Cold email is the way to go, all this kind of thing. And the ironic thing is almost all of these gurus are making the majority of their money from the content that they are making, right? And I'm not afraid to admit that. I make the majority of the money from the content that I create. I consider it to be a business, right? Content creation is a business. I treat it like a business, and I make the majority of my money from doing content. And I'm not afraid to admit that. And I wish more people were honest about it, honestly. So content creation, without a doubt, is the best way to get leads, to get sales calls, to get sales, to get clients, right? Without a doubt. It is by far the best way. Even if you're doing other methods, if you're doing paid ads, for instance, people reach out to you afterwards. People look for you afterwards. If they see your paid ad and they're kind of interested, but they're not quite ready to go, they're going to look you up online. And if they see you have a great, content ecosystem, you got an Instagram, a YouTube, a Twitter, etc., and you got followers, you're making great content, guess what? They're going to be way more likely to buy from you. And I've actually tested this out with clients. Usually they increase their ROAS by at least 30% on their paid ads when we start doing this, which is incredible. Okay. So I made content, and specifically the best platform to make content on is, drumroll please, the one you're watching right now. Okay, the best platform to make content on is YouTube. So I focused on YouTube. YouTube was the main platform that I made content on. However, later on I'll talk about redistributing content because I did some stuff on other platforms too. Twitter was really good for me, for instance, and I'll get into that. But let's not get too far into that. So step 1, I made content. Step 2, I made content consistently. So this is a big issue that I see with people is they'll get really excited about YouTube and they'll start on YouTube and they'll, put a ton of effort into videos and they'll be like, man, that was hard, because for one, they're making the mistake of putting way too much effort into their videos, because sophisticated audiences, if you're selling like a high ticket product, do not care about fancy editing. They don't care about like Mr. Beast style, like keeping people entertained. Every 5 seconds, some crazy thing happens, right? They don't care about that. They don't care about being entertained. What they care about is the value you deliver, right? So this is what you want to focus on. You want to focus on making content sustainably so that you can make it consistently. And there's all kinds of channels right now that are absolutely blowing up because the YouTube meta is changing, where they're not making this super retention editing, like fake, super scripted out content. They might have a few bullet points. I have a few bullet points right here. My script's right there. But overall, they're just going off the top of their head because they are true experts. And if you're a true expert on something, you can talk about the subject off the top of your head, no problem, right? Think about it. Something you're actually an expert on, you could talk about it with a friend or another business owner buddy off the top of your head easily, right? It's only when you're pretending to be an expert, when you're really not an expert, that it's difficult to talk off the top of your head. So, making content sustainably, consistently, I did it 3 times a week, right? 3 times a week is what I recommend on YouTube. That is the golden number for educational channels. 3 times a week. It's just enough time to where your audience doesn't get tired of you. So think about if you were hanging out with your best friend. If you hung out with them every single day, you'd probably get tired of them. But if you hang out with them every other day, which is kind of like 3 times a week, you know, you're going to miss them. You're going to miss them a lot, right? So that's kind of the psychology behind that. 3 times a week is ideal. I've tested all kinds of things. I've tested 5 times a week, 7 times a week, 1 time a week, twice a week. 3 times a week is the best, okay? It gets the best bang for the buck. Okay, so you want to upload content consistently. And then the next step is I had my team repurpose the content on all social media platforms. So for the most part, YouTube is kind of like the sun in a solar system, okay? YouTube is the sun in the solar system. Every other content platform, you should be doing it, but it's like they're like planets that are rotating around the sun. Okay, and so you want to make your content primarily on YouTube because it's the biggest money maker, and then repurpose everything else on other platforms. So your team should be watching your YouTube videos, or freelancers you hire or whoever, they should be watching your YouTube videos. There's websites out there where you can easily just take a YouTube video and get a script. You just put the link to the YouTube video and it'll output a script so you can know exactly what was said in that video. And then you can just change it up a little bit. And then, hey, you got a newsletter. Congratulations. You take some of the snippets out of there that were the best stuff and you post it on Twitter. You start posting it on Instagram. You make some carousels. You start posting it on Facebook. You make some posts on Facebook, et cetera, et cetera. So you have your team repurpose the content. And then also you can have little snippets from the content as well. So you take little snippets, you put it on Instagram for short videos. You can put it on YouTube Shorts. You can put it on even TikTok if you want to, if you're on that platform, which, hey, there's some people crushing it on TikTok. So, kudos to those people. And then, of course, you can actually just repost the YouTube videos themselves on platforms such as Twitter and LinkedIn. Now, there's some time. I think on LinkedIn, you can only post like 15-minute videos. So anything over 15 minutes, you're going to have to do a part 1 and a part 2. But you get the point. You can repost the videos themselves on these other platforms too. And because of the fact that these videos are extremely raw and authentic, and they're not fake, they're not scripted, it makes sense to post them on other platforms. Now, if you were doing retention editing, it wouldn't really make any sense whatsoever to post them on other platforms because it's just a YouTube vibe. Retention editing is a very YouTube thing. It doesn't make sense when you see that on other platforms. When people see that, they're just gonna be like, whoa, what is going on here? But raw, authentic content is timeless. It's universal. You can post it on any platform, no problem. And so with all of the leads and the sales I got, I was getting a little over half of the sales from YouTube. I'd say like 60, maybe 65%, and then 35, 40% were coming from all of the other platforms, but we weren't really putting that much effort into the other platforms, okay? Now, Twitter was, just for the record, Twitter was my second best platform. Twitter's been really good for attracting business owners. So, number 4, I pitched my product in almost every video, every single time, sometimes even multiple times. Do not be afraid to pitch your product. People that get annoyed with that kind of thing, you don't want them as clients anyways, right? Do not be afraid to pitch your product, which, by the way, check out the product. It's in the description and the pinned comment below. There's also like free information down there. You can download like an ultimate guide. Check it out. It's in the description and the pinned comment below. But yeah, don't be afraid to pitch your product. If you have a product that is incredibly valuable, it gets people results, it is your duty to bring it into the world, to get other people to go through the product and get them results. And everybody knows that if people don't pay, they don't pay attention. So if you were to give your product out for free or for a very low price, nobody would get results from it. And especially with the product I do, where it's kind of like a hybrid service and coaching program, it's extremely high touch, right? So I have to charge a high ticket price for it because I have a bunch of people to pay that are helping you get the results, right? I literally hire people for my clients. I literally will just like hire people for my clients. Now, if you know anything about the recruiting world, usually that costs like $5,000 to $15,000 depending on the position. So, I do that for my clients. I hire people. I even train them for them as well. So these are all things that I do. So at first, it was literally just a Calendly link. And this is one thing, guys. Oh, man, there's all these people that say that you have to have some kind of fancy VSL. And the truth is, when you first create a product, you don't know who your client avatar is. I'm sure you've seen the trainings like, oh, you have to know exactly who your client avatar is. You have to be able to write, a diary entry in one of their days. How would you possibly know that when you haven't actually interacted with your clients? It's impossible to know that. So yes, you do want to try to have like a pretty good guess about who your clients are going to be, but either throwing up a really quick VSL. I'm talking like a VSL that is just a Loom video. And by the way, Sam Ovens was the first one to do this. Shout out to Sam Ovens. So literally just a VSL that's like a Loom video and it just shows the deliverables. That's it. Like a VSL that's a Loom video and it shows the deliverables in the program. Or even simpler than that, just throw up a Calendly link and put apply for one-on-one coaching. It's that simple, right? Or apply for a done for you service build out, something like that. Whatever your offer is, right? Once you start talking to people on the phone, once you start getting clients, then you're going to know who your ideal client avatar is. Some of your clients might be a little annoying. Some of them might be a joy to work with, right? And that's how you figure it out. That's the process that you go through. So a lot of people are putting the cart before the horse and they're trying to like guess who their ideal client avatar is, when in reality, they don't know until they actually start talking to their clients. So don't get all caught up with like creating like some kind of fancy VSL. Create a simple VSL. Honestly, even just do a Calendly booking. And then you'll figure out who your ideal clients are. And yes, my close rate wasn't that great. It was maybe like 15, 20% with a Calendly booking. There were some people that got on there that just did not know what they didn't know anything about the product, but that's okay because I was getting paid to do market research and I still closed like 15, 20%. And after that, I was able to make a really good VSL where I'm closing like 35, 40% now, right? So that's another thing to keep in mind. Also, I had no formal sales training. However, what I did use is the NEPQ sales methodology. And I believe Jeremy Miner was the one who came out with that. But I think I used the one from Sales Sniper, who's one of Jeremy Miner's. Like he used to be Jeremy Miner's like #1 guy, and then he split off and created his own company. But yeah, NEPQ sales methodology, really good. If you're selling to other business owners, you don't really need to use any sales. Just give them value on the call. Tell them what you can do for them. And that's pretty much it. It's very logical. If you're selling to business owners, you don't have to use any fancy sales stuff. But if you're B2C, you're selling to consumers, then try out NEPQ sales methodology. I really think NEPQ is amazing. So definitely try it out. I also made lead magnets to attract people to my email list. So I built up my email list incredibly quickly. We're getting like 2,000, 3,000 subscribers a month now on my email list. And this is a brand new email list, right? It's, I already had an old email list from my old business, but I got this brand new email list and I basically just made, lead magnets that I thought were really good. I tested a few of them out. Some of them did really well. Some of them didn't do really well. The ones that did really well, I made those my main lead magnets. And people find them incredibly valuable. In fact, there's some people that literally said that without even purchasing my coaching, just looking at my lead magnet, they were able to get results. So that's how freaking good my lead magnet is. So check it out down in the description, the pinned comment below. But yeah, also I started doing a weekly webinar and workshop. Now, the reason I started doing this is because I went to a mastermind and I ran into a couple guys that were doing over $1 million a month, this mastermind. One of them was doing 2.5, 3 million a month. The other one was doing about $1 million a month. Both of them swore by doing weekly webinars. They said it was a game changer for their business. And so I started doing weekly webinars as well. And on these webinars, I basically give value. I talk about the absolute most important things. So like the 3 most important things when it comes to growing and making money on YouTube and getting clients from YouTube. That's what I do. I talk about the 3 most important things and that's it. I don't go into some kind of high level trying to cover everything in 1 hour type of thing. I talk about 3 very important things. And that is it, okay? So webinar has been a really, really good for me. It's been amazing. Now, I booked a lot of calls directly, but the webinar almost like doubled the amount of calls that I was booking. So really, really good. Also made a Facebook group where people who come to the webinar are funneled into a Facebook group. That increases the amount of people who actually show up to the webinar. It also increases engagement. People get really excited. You wouldn't believe some of the messages that I get in this Facebook group because I give so much value during the webinar that people are just freaking out in the Facebook group. They're like, oh my God, this was so amazing. This was so incredible. Thank you so much for doing this, Shane. And it makes me feel really good. I love it, because if people can't afford it or it's just not the right time, that's great. I'm still giving value to them. And then I created a killer VSL based on the information I learn. And this increased conversions from like 15% to 20%, all the way up to 35 to 40% per call. So really good stuff. Number 5, I hired a sales rep because I was getting way too many calls. I was actually getting really stressed out. There were days when I was doing like, 8 to 11 calls, just calls literally all day. From the moment I woke up to the moment I went to sleep at night, I was doing calls. I would actually get excited when someone didn't show up to a call because I could just like go and eat or go to the bathroom or just like take a little break. I'd be like, thank goodness this person didn't show up to a call, because I was taking so many calls every single day. My calendar was completely booked out. So I hired a salesperson. The way that I hired a salesperson is I basically just reached out through my network. It can be really hard to hire a salesperson. I got lucky. Okay, I got really lucky with my sales guy. He was good. I reached out to my network. He was working on another offer, and that offer kind of pivoted to an MRR kind of thing. So it was high ticket. It pivoted to MRR, and so they wanted to stop the high ticket stuff, and so they let go of their sales guy. But I talked to him. Seemed really good. The guy who hired him before vouched for him. So I hired him, and it's turned out really well. So thank goodness. He's also just a really great guy too. So I really enjoy working with him. I also hired a CSM, which is a customer success manager, who's another successful YouTuber. So the way that I did this, and guys, I'm just spilling all the value here. I mean, this is freaking ridiculous how much value I'm giving. The way I did this is actually through Twitter. Twitter is the most amazing way to hire people, guys. You need to build your Twitter presence literally just to hire people, because it's that good for hiring. You need to get plugged into Money Twitter, okay? Money Twitter specifically. You need to start following people in Money Twitter. If you don't know what that is, Google it. But yeah, once you get plugged into Money Twitter and you're kind of in that ecosystem, dude, go ahead, use it to hire people, because it is an amazing place. I found some unbelievable talent through Twitter, and I'm probably going to be hiring a bunch more people through Twitter. So, yeah, the CSM, essentially, if you don't know what a customer success manager is, they basically just help your clients get results, and they are KPI'd on getting your clients results. Now, this is somebody who is a successful YouTuber, so it's very expensive to hire him. But with that being said, it's worth it because he's going to be able to get my clients the best possible results, and he has been, and my clients absolutely love him. So that's really great. Also, basically, I hired a successful coach, a person who started 2 different coaching businesses. This was also through my network. This person kind of teaches the business side of YouTube to my clients. Things like lead magnets, webinars, VSLs, selling a high ticket product, making your offer, that kind of thing. He teaches that stuff, and he's been really helpful too. So also hired a marketing manager, and this is a person who oversees the content redistribution process. She was a business owner who actually hit me up over email. So she actually hit me up over email. I don't know how we got introduced. Actually, I think I was introduced through my network, but then she kind of hit me up over email, and she kept following up with me over and over again. And I was just like, man, she's good. And her emails were really good too. So I was like, all right, she's following up with me over and over again. I was like, all right, my girlfriend suggested maybe I hire her. I was like, all right, I'll give it a flyer. I'll see if she's interested. I gave her an offer, ended up hiring her. It's been great. So she oversees like the content redistribution. She oversees all that kind of thing. So she's been great as well. And most importantly, number 9, I made an absolute killer coaching program. Okay, this took me 9 months to create. I actually procrastinated so long on this. I can't tell you how long I thought about doing this. And then like created it halfway, but then I was like, oh, it's not good enough. I destroyed it, created it again. Guys, I put so much effort into this coaching program. It's one of the most painful things I've ever done, but it's absolutely worth it because it's without a doubt the top tier information that you can get on growing and making money on YouTube. It's up to date. Most YouTube coaches and YouTube service providers and everything, they focus on getting views and subscribers. And getting views and subscribers does not matter. What matters is making money. Okay, what matters is actually making money from your views and subscribers. Okay, nobody cares about views and subscribers. That absolutely does not matter. But what they do care about, like there's so many broke YouTubers out there. None of them, they might have millions of subscribers. They're still broke. right? So it's not a real business. So I treat YouTube like a business, and that's what I teach other people to do. I teach other people how to make the types of content that actually make money, because most types of content might get a lot of views and subscribers, but they don't make money because people don't want to buy from like entertainment channels like Dancing Clowns. People also don't want to buy from really nerdy like tutorial guys. If you're making tutorials, you're not going to be able to sell a high ticket product, right? And so I made a killer coaching program designed to teach coaches, consultants, online service providers, agency owners, course creators, and creators, basically like creators on any platform, how to actually monetize, how to grow and make money on YouTube. And it's been amazing. I absolutely love doing it. It's been one of the funnest things I've ever done. And it's designed to get people results as fast as humanly possible. And if you want to check that out, go ahead and click the link down in the description and the pinned comment below. You can book a call with me and we can talk about it.